That's probably how this came about. Balanchine was really into Americana. Anything American was what he wanted to be and what he felt passionate about. He used to wear a bandana, like a tie, or he had a bolo. On every day, he wore this great big silver and turquoise bracelet. So he was super fond of Americana, and he made several ballets as a tribute to Americana and Who Cares, which was Gershwin, and that's American jazz, and Square Dance, which is sort of a hoedown, Western Symphony for cowboys and saloon girls. Stars and Stripes is the obvious. He enjoyed that kind of thing, and I don't know why he made Square Dance at this particular time, except that he had these dancers who were perfect for the roles. Patricia Wilde, who was just strong as can be and could move fast as can be, and so he made it as a vehicle really for her. Being a repetiteur is my third dance career. When I stopped dancing from the New York City Ballet, I became a ballet mistress immediately. I was staging a little bit of stuff when I stopped dancing, just some small things, and then became the ballet mistress for Edward Villela in Miami City Ballet. And I was there for 8 years, and we did, the bulk of our repertoire was Balanchine because that's what we knew and that's what we had access to the most. So we did lots and lots of Balanchine. So as a ballet mistress, I had to learn everybody's part in every ballet. And after I left Miami City Ballet, I went on to just become other people had started coming in to stage the ballets, and I would learn from them, and then I was starting to do it myself, and so that opened the gate for me to do this by myself. So I was always in training. Seems like I was always in training for the next job. When you're in the corps de ballet, you're in training for everything, because when you're in the back, you hear everything. When you're in the front, you don't necessarily pay attention to or hear the corrections in the back. When you're in the back, you hear virtually everything. So in the corps, in training to be a soloist, when I was in soloist dancing, I was in training to become that ballet mistress. And when I was being a ballet mistress, it appears I was in training to become a repetiteur. And now that I'm there, so staging the ballets, I must be in training for something. I haven't figured that out yet. I do that every week of my life. I work with dancers that I've never met all the time. In fact, that's what makes my job fun. That's what makes it more fun than being a resident in a company, is meeting all of the new people and working with all the different dancers, or staging the ballet 5 or 10 times and seeing the exact same steps, the same structure, the same spacing, the same music, the same choreography, brought to a different life by a different person, because they haven't figured out how to computerize us yet. Not yet. So it's fun for me to give the information and then see what the individual brings to the plate. That makes it fun for me. So I'm used to lots of different types of people, language barriers, cultural differences. Somehow, the ballet is universal. It doesn't seem to matter if I'm in South Africa or Russia or Germany or Mexico. It doesn't, US, it doesn't seem to matter. This ballet, language of ballet is universal, and it's body language. And it's like the more different we are, the more the same we ballet people are. It's kind of funny. Betsy and Stephen and I have been friends and working companions for so many years. I love them dearly. They do so much with not a lot. You know, they always sort of get to the next level. Every time I come, the company has gotten bigger, the company has gotten better. Some different dancers, some same dancers. But I have gone through those ebbs and flows with them, some very hard times where we thought, oh my God, scary, scary. And then And they bring it back and they work their tails off to make this happen here. And I'm kind of in awe of that and the energy that they have and the dedication and the continuing perseverance. That's the problem with scheduling everywhere, almost everywhere nowadays. And I find it in every company, just about every company. There's not very often that you can go and set it and be there right up until the performance. And sometimes it's not even that great a thing to do when it's, I mean, this one you could do because the music is Vivaldi and Corelli and it sings itself, it's very countable, it's not difficult music. But things like Agon or Symphony in 3 Movements, Stravinsky or much more contemporary difficult scores, sometimes you just have to let it settle into your bones. And sometimes it's better to learn it well in advance and let your body absorb it. Even if you're not rehearsing it for a couple of months, when you go back to it, it's like an old friend, you know, it comes back and it seems more familiar as opposed to when it's brand new. So the problem with everyone's schedule is they're so busy, so busy, so busy. We only have this week to rehearse or this week to rehearse, and we have to wedge things in, or we have to do it 6 months or 8 months in advance. And then closer to the time, you have to go back and reteach it. But like I just said, it will come back much more easily than if you had never taught it before. And I will be making 2 more trips to San Diego before, well, 1 more before the performance and 1 of the performance weeks. So when I come back to teach Emeralds, we will revisit square dance. And hopefully along the way, they'll have 1 minute to look at it or something so it doesn't go away completely. But I go home to Miami tomorrow, and on the next day I go to Tulsa, Oklahoma to do serenade. I've done a lot of serenades this year, and then I have a couple of weeks off actually. I'm going to visit my family. Can't just stay home. And then I'm going to Paris Opera for Jerome Robbins Ballet. And then it starts, I have a couple of weeks off at New Year's time in the beginning of January when most companies are off. And then it starts back again. And you know, the thing is I can't be everywhere. And so a lot of companies always like, it's either rains it pours. I can have 4 weeks with nothing, and I can have 3 companies that want me on the exact same date. So I have to forfeit some other places. Sometimes it can be, you know, it's Vienna calling, but I've already taken a job in St. Louis. And I have a contract and I have to honor it, and I have to say no to Vienna. The way it goes.
So when you come back next couple of times, will you actually be here for the performance?
The 3rd trip will be the week of the performance, yeah.
And then you'll stay and watch the performance?
Yeah. Oh, that's the fun part.
Well, that's good. Thank you very much.
Thank you.